I think that certainly those that have been struggling to get onto the housing ladder at the bottom have needed a helping hand, and got one when the Chancellor sat down, having delivered his budget in April. Help to Buy 1, the first phase, the shared equity element of the scheme, has made a considerable difference.
So what's wrong with this scheme that's just about to start?
This scheme is, I think, gives people the cap at the top end at £600,000 is far too high, and I think that I suspect that what we'll see is that those coming in trying to buy second-hand homes and those that have already bought a property will start to, if we're not careful, distort house market prices and trading volumes.
OK. Lucian Cook, Santander, big bank, have already said that 1.5 million people could use this scheme, far more than intended. Even the man, the business secretary, Vince Cable, the man at the heart of government, says it might inflate the market and cause a bubble. I mean, if he's worried, we should be, shouldn't we?
Well, I think much less so, actually. In reality, we have a partially functioning market which is dominated by cash. And a lack of mortgage finance, particularly in the lower tiers of the market, is really restricting access to home ownership to people who in normal circumstances would be able to get it. In terms of its take-up, it will have an impact on transactions, but that will be limited by the lender take-up and the ability of borrowers to meet the conditions.
You mean house prices going up?
No, I mean that lenders are likely to apply quite strict criteria to the people who can access the scheme, and they will only have a certain appetite for it. So the chances that it will massively increase transaction levels are limited. In terms of house price growth, then I think there is a likely boost to house prices. I don't think it's that significant.
How much?
So we're forecasting over the period of the next 5 years that prices might rise by something in the order of 18%. In real terms, that is not a significant rise.
Is that a bubble, Henry Pryor?
Well, I think the problem is that by giving this additional money for a finite number of properties, as opposed to addressing the problem that this country faces, which is a shortage of new build properties, all they're going to do is enable those people who've got this extra money to spend it and give it to the people who are selling the houses.
But it's going to take many years, isn't it, to build enough homes, and people need a house to live in this year. And David Cameron says, you know, if you're trying to buy a house, you either have to have wealthy parents or you're able to kind of generate and save a lot of money very quickly. I mean, that's not very fair, is it? Are you comfortable with that statistic?
I think that the issue here is that if we're not very careful, this is going to become a political football. David Cameron, perhaps in some haste, brought forward the scheme which was supposed to launch on the 1st of January next year. None of the lenders appear to be ready to deliver it. So although an awful lot of people this evening are going to prepare, if they think they're going to be able to buy a house in the next 3 or 4 months to take up the offer of Help to Buy, they're going to find actually that lenders aren't in a position to provide it. And here we are this evening, actually with no housing minister as a result of the reshuffle. Mark Prisk, who'd done a very good job, many people thought, has been decommissioned, and nobody is there sitting to take over that.
Lucian, as an estate agent and a very successful one, how will you benefit from this financially?
Well, I think it will have an impact on the new homes business, and it will increase demand at the bottom end of the housing ladder.
Your profits are up, what, 40% the first 6 months of this year? I think estate agents are the fastest growing part of the national workforce this summer. Sounds like a bubble,
but the estate agency is a very small part of Savills' business, and in terms of servicing the lower tiers of the market, we have a relatively limited exposure. I think really the big issue is how does it address the housing crisis which is facing the UK, and there is no doubt that it's increasing it in the political agenda, and that has to be good news.
And how will we know if it's worked or not, Henry?
Well, no, because
how will we know?
We will know because more people will be able to get onto the housing ladder, and those that are already on it will be able to move up and out of the top.
OK, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time tonight.